so we're going to test this and see if it actually works. Alright, a couple things we're going to talk about in today's live stream. Again, this is a channel that makes everything fun, entertaining, and it's all about US stocks, US markets, US headlines. So here we go. One of the headlines for today is McDonald's earnings beats estimates. Those chains value push pays off. So some of the highlights here, besides this wonderful food, is that McDonald's on Wednesday reported quarterly earnings and revenue that topped analysts' expectations as its value push wins back customers. By listening to customers and taking action, we have improved traffic and strengthened our value and affordability scores. Okay, so here's what the report compared with Wall Street was expecting. Revenue. Here's what we reported. They reported $7 billion versus the expected $6.84 billion. The fast food giant reported fourth quarter net income of $2.16 billion, or $3.03 per share, up from $2.02 billion or $2.8 per share a year earlier. That's excluding restructuring charges and other items. Net revenue climbed 10% to $7 billion. The company's same-store sales increased 5.7%, fueled by strong growth in its home market. Wall Street was projecting same-store sales growth of 3.9%, according to Wall Street estimates. Now, U.S. same-store sales increased 6.8%. And the chain also expanded its offerings by relaunching extra value meals, which offer roughly 15% discount on combo meals. For the year, McDonald's is planning to spend between $3.7 billion and $3.9 billion on capital expenditures. And let's see, how did McDonald's do in the charts? Let's go back here. So again, on this channel, we teach you about not only the headlines, but how also the headlines affect the charts. So that's why we go here to Trader View, and we can look up McDonald's Corporation, and we'll show you how the charts go with the headlines. Looking here on Trader View, McDonald's Q4 revenue hit $7.01 billion, up 10% year over year. U.S. same-store sales rose 6.8%, with adjusted earnings per share at 3.12. The company aims for 50,000 global restaurants by 2027. So, remember we talked about this a little bit. We have the RSI, Relative Strength Index. That's the over 70, and this is the under 30. So, for example, here, let me put this here. Overbought equals 70 or higher, and oversold equals 30 or less. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're looking right here. So it can go a lot higher before it corrects, and it can go a lot lower before it corrects. And then there's that right there. And then, for example, I want to point out that this area right in here, right in here, that's called the neutral or consolidation area. It's kind of between 45 to 55 thereabouts, but it can also change. But there, so when you see the consolidation area, that's basically this. You have a right here. You have a hidden ceiling. You also have a hidden floor right there. Yeah, hidden ceiling and hidden floor. Let me type that actually for you, make it easier. You have the invisible ceiling right there, and you have the invisible floor right there. And for example, so that's a relative strength index, and those are some of the things to keep in mind for that. Now, also having said that, we also have the MACD. the MACD basically shows you that when the, for example, when the MACD crosses the red signal line, going down like right there, it crosses right here. So basically, the MACD should line up with a price chart, because it'll tell you when the price chart is going to go down, or also when the price chart is going to go up. Let me give you an example of that right here. The MACD crosses the signal line right there, and actually it's a bit lagging because it should be right here, and that's one of the arguments, disadvantages about the MACD, is that it should be it's oftentimes it's lagging. That's one of the things that doesn't work very well, is it does lag a lot. Yeah. Take a picture of this, make sure it's still streaming here. Yeah. All right. So that's the MACD. Again, the MACD basically uses history to predict the future there. And let me give you some chart trends as well. So, for example, here, for example, you have what we call the double. This is the double top. So what the double top right there? That's the double top, and then right here, for example, we have the double bottom right there. This is the double bottom. Okay, so let me show you. Let me highlight that for you right there. The double bottom, and then right here, the double top right there. Now, for example, let me see if I can get you some more fun little chart patterns here. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. I like this one. For example, right here, this is the reverse head, and this is the left side and the right side, and then right here, this is the neckline. So you basically, and then here is the breakout. So boom, 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 here, reverse head and shoulders, and there's the breakout right there. And so when you see the reverse head and shoulders, basically you're thinking that the chart pattern is supposed to indicate a breakout going up. Sometimes it doesn't actually break out. That's why you watch the neckline to see if it does break out past the head and shoulders part. Yeah. Let's see, what's another fun one I can give you? Oh, right here. This is a double top right there. And yeah, boom, double top. And also right here, another double top right there. Bang. Yeah, double top. And let's see. Again, this is, let me type this for you. This is we call this a reverse head and shoulders right there. Reverse head and shoulders. And bum, bum, bum. Let's see if I can give you some other ones. Oh, so that was a reverse head and shoulders. And then this, here you have the head, and then the left side, and then the right side. That's the head and shoulders right here. And then right here, that's the neckline. And it does finally break out and go down. So that's what you're looking at. There's a reverse head and shoulders, and then that's the normal head and shoulders right there. Bum, bum, bum. And yeah, so those are a couple quick patterns to look out for just in the beginning. Yeah, so double tops, reverse head and shoulders, and then over here we got the double bottoms, double tops, and then here we have the invisible ceiling. This is the consolidation. Let me type that for you as well. This is consolidation or continuation right there. Consolidation, continuation, and then right here I'm not sure what the, oh, yeah, because I was talking about the MACD right there lining up. So there we are. There's a little bit about the RSI and some chart patterns. Now let's look at here. Let's talk about some of the fundamentals. Volume wise, it's at 150,000. Market capitalization 229 billion. And then right here, for example, earnings wise, last three quarters, Q4 and Q2 surpassed expectations, but Q3 just barely missed it. So Q2, Q3 surpassed it, and then if you look at it annually, 2025 surpassed it, 2024 just missed it, 2023 surpassed it. So the last 3 years, looking at earnings, 2023 and 2025 surpassed expectations, but 2024 just missed it. Now, why are we looking at earnings? You're looking at earnings because earnings is one of the pieces of information that can help you understand the heart, the strength, the vibrancy of the company. So that's that. And also, if we go here to statements, annually, the statements, click on the annual button, and you'll see 2023. Let me make sure we're still streaming here. Am I streaming? So there's that. All right, now statements wise, look at annually the last 2 years. Total revenue, gross profit, and operating income were very green and good the last 2 years. And then if you want to look at the net income, which will also tell you some good information. 2024 was not a good year for McDonald's, but 2023 was. So there's that. And if you want for fun, if you want to look at the forecast, just for fun, 32 analysts, 1 year price forecast, maximum estimate of 380 and a minimum estimate of 250. And there you go. Now, another one that I want to show you. That's that was McDonald's. Here's another one. Let's see. Applied Materials to pay 252 million over illegal exports to China. Let's talk about that one. The U.S. Department of Commerce on Wednesday announced a $252 million settlement with Applied Materials for illegally exporting chip-making equipment to China's top chipmaker, Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corporation. In 2023, Reuters exclusively reported that Applied Materials was under criminal investigation for producing semiconductor equipment in Massachusetts, then shipping the equipment to a subsidiary in South Korea before sending it on to SMIC in China. So here's the let's see. The value of the goods illegally shipped was about 126 million. SMIC added. The penalty was 252 million. It's a $250 million penalty, twice the transaction value. That's the maximum allowed by law. And so what I was going to do is Applied Materials. Let's go here to Applied Materials. Let's look up this one. Applied Materials right there. Applied Materials. Let's do some technical analysis on this. Right here. Remember we talked about the RSI, 70s overbought and 30s oversold, so it's sitting right here at 59, pretty neutral. Because if you look up here, it just market corrected right there, and as you can see, this basically looks like a double top right here. So a double top is going to market correct and come down. That's one of the chart patterns that we talked about, if you remember that. So there's your double top. And here's another one that we talked about. If you want looking for some chart patterns, this is a double bottom right there. So you have right there. Let me type that in. You have a double top, and you have a double bottom right there. Double top, double bottom, and then also right here, highlight this one. You see how the chart just goes straight up right here, almost vertical. Yep, because right here you have the double bottom right there, double bottom. And let's see, bum bum bum. If you go over here, well, let's look here more. For example, right here, if you want to see the RSI, it dipped all the way down to 22, 21 before market correcting. See, that's this one right here. And then here, the MACD line crosses the indicator line right there. But see, that's why people complain, because the MACD is oftentimes lagging, and here it is lagging. So it should have been, for example, over here. Anyway, that's why the MACD sometimes doesn't help that much. But here we go. Let's go over here. Dun dun dun. Bum, bum, bum. Here's your double bottom right here. It's your double bottom, and then yeah. Let's see if I can give you for example, here is a yeah. Here's a reverse. Here's a reverse head, left side, right side, right there. Reverse head and shoulders, right there. Bang. Reverse head and shoulders, and right there you can see it actually breaks out right there. Dun, dun, dun. And then oh, here's another good one. This is a really good one. This one doesn't break out, but you can see right here. Here's the reverse head. Here's the left side. Here's the right side, and then here's the neckline. It doesn't break out much, but it does a little bit. And again, so let's call that the reverse head and shoulders right there. Reverse head and shoulders. And yeah, the same thing was over here. This was also the reverse. Let's call this the reverse head and shoulders. Reverse head and shoulders right there. Bum, bum. Let me see if I can get you another one here. Well, alright. Okay, so that's that. That's Applied Materials. For those of you who don't know, Applied Materials engages in provision of materials, engineering solutions used to produce semiconductors. The firm also focuses on design, development, production, and servicing of the critical wafer fabrication tools for customers to manufacture semiconductors. There's that. Yeah, Applied Materials settled for $252 million with the U.S. Department of Commerce over export violations involving $126 million in semiconductor equipment shipments to China between 2020 and 2022. Let's go here to the fundamentals. Volume-wise, it's at 915,000. Market cap is at 266 billion. If we go here to the earnings side, quarterly, Q4 is sitting at Q4 surpassed expectations, so did Q3, but Q2. Oh yeah, the last 3 quarters, Q4, Q3, Q2, all surpassed expectations. But let's look here at annual, 2025, 2024. And 2023. Actually, all the last 3 years surpassed earnings expectations. So bear that in mind. Statements-wise, click that annual button. So statements-wise, total revenue, gross profit, operating income, all were in the green for the last 2 years. And then net income for 2024 was good, but net income for 2025 was not good for Applied Materials. Yeah, so bear that in mind. And then let's go here. Um, for example, oh, another one I was going to talk about was Taiwan's AI-powered economy soars in the shadow of bubble fears and China threats. So what's this all about? Well, in Taipei, real estate agent is betting that home prices around a high-tech industrial park in the northern part of Taiwan's capital will soon take flight. Now, make sure I'm still recording here. Will soon take flight. The area is where NVIDIA plans to build its new Taiwan headquarters as it rapidly expands on the island, set to surpass Apple to become the biggest customer of Taiwan Semiconductor, TSMC, the biggest contract manufacturer of the advanced chips needed for AI. Let me repeat that. This is the area that NVIDIA plans to build its new Taiwan headquarters as it rapidly expands on the island. And that's why the home prices around this high-tech industrial park are going to increase a lot. It's the biggest contract manufacturer of the advanced chips needed for AI. And NVIDIA's CEO describes Taiwan as the center of the world's computer ecosystem. It's riding high on the global AI frenzy. Its economy grew at an 8.6 annual pace last year, and it's hoping to maintain that momentum after it recently sealed a trade deal with the U.S. President Mr. T that cut tariffs from 20% down to 15%. And so what's this all mean? Well, basically, the island of about 23 people, Taiwan depends heavily on exports. They jumped nearly 35,000 year on year in 2025 as shipments to the U.S. surged 78% due to ballooning AI demand. That's thanks largely to TSMC. Yeah. So let's take a look here at TSMC. Boom, boom, boom. What's TSMC doing with their charts and technicals? TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. Yeah. They reported a 37% year-over-year revenue rise in January, surpassing its 30% growth forecast, fueled by strong demand from NVIDIA and Apple. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, Taiwan Semiconductor engages in the manufacture and sale of integrated circuits and wafer semiconductor devices. Its chips are used in personal semiconductors and peripheral products, information applications, and let's go here. Let's look here. RSI is sitting here at 82, and as you can see, look at this chart right here. Right now it's just jumping way up high. Right now it's sitting up here at 374. It jumped up as high as 83 before the RSA came down to 74. And if you look at this, for example, let's see. Yeah, it just keeps market correcting and going up. As you can see, this stair-step approach right there. Now let me give you some right here. Give you some chart patterns. Well, let's not do that. For example, right here, the RSI went to 81 before it actually market corrected, and the same, remember, was true down here. It can actually go way down past the 30 before it ever actually market corrects. So bear that in mind. Let's go to the fundamentals here. Volume-wise, it's at 3.4 million. Market cap is at 1.58 trillion. Quarterly, Q4, Q3, and Q2 all surpassed expectations. Annually, 2025 and 2023 and 2025 surpassed expectations, but 2024 just missed it. That's annually. If you look at the statements, hit the annual button right there. Revenue, gross profit, and operating income the last 3 years. The last 2 years, I'm sorry. We're all in the green, looking healthy. Also, net income the last 2 years, we're all green, looking healthy. So that's TSMC. Yeah. So there's that. All right. And For all of you who joined the stream, I want to thank you for joining the stream, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I hope you enjoyed some of the chart analysis, the technical analysis, and some of the companies we've talked about. Okay, and let's see, let me end this thing.